Dear chosen one, if you are watching this video right now, know that this is not a coincidence. You weren't led here by chance. It is God who has brought you to this very moment, to this message, because an urgent prophecy is about to unfold, and it is meant for you. Receive this energy and divine prophecy by liking and subscribing to the channel, and don't forget to write your heartfelt prayers or wishes to God in the comment section below. Beloved, I want to speak to your spirit right now. You have been in a season where it felt like everything was slow, delayed, and uncertain. You prayed, you waited, you believed, yet the answers seemed far away. Some of you even questioned whether God had forgotten you. You wondered if the promises He made over your life would ever come to pass. But hear this, heaven has not forgotten you. The silence was not absence. The waiting was not abandonment. God was working behind the scenes in ways you could not see, aligning pieces, shifting circumstances, and preparing the stage for what He is about to do. Beloved, there comes a moment in the journey of every chosen one when the process gives way to manifestation. And for you, that moment is drawing near. What looked like delay is about to turn into acceleration. What seemed impossible is about to shift suddenly. I sense this clearly. There will be a divine interruption in the ordinary flow of your life. Something you thought would take years is going to happen swiftly. A breakthrough you thought was beyond your reach will suddenly stand before you. The change you've been praying for will arrive not by human strength, but by divine power. Let us look at Scripture for a moment. In Acts 16, Paul and Silas were imprisoned, bound in chains. To the natural eye, their situation looked hopeless. But at midnight, as they prayed and sang hymns, the Bible says suddenly, there was a great earthquake, the prison shook, and every chain fell off. What looked like a dead end shifted in a single moment. Beloved, that same suddenly is coming to your life. That same shaking is about to release you from what has held you captive. The doors that were locked are about to swing open, not because of man's permission, but because of God's intervention. And this shift will not just be for your freedom, it will be a sign, a confirmation, a divine stamp that the promises God spoke over you were true all along. You will not just step into blessing, you will step into undeniable evidence that the word of the Lord never fails. Beloved, do not be discouraged if you cannot yet see how. The shift is not dependent on your resources or your strength. It is not limited by your connections or your qualifications. It is by the Spirit of the living God. For the Lord says, "Not by might, nor by power, but by my Spirit." This means that the very area of your life where you feel the weakest is the exact place where God's power is about to show itself the strongest. The very place of your greatest warfare is about to become the testimony of your greatest victory. I sense in my spirit that for some of you, this shift will come in the area of finances. Where there has been lack, there will be sudden provision. Where there has been debt, there will be sudden release. For others, it will be in relationships, reconciliation, restoration, connections ordained by heaven that will move you into your next season. For others, it will be healing, the sudden lifting of pain, the sudden restoration of strength, the sudden peace that surpasses all understanding. Beloved, God is not just promising change. He is promising sudden change. The kind that leaves no doubt it was Him. The kind that silences the enemy and confuses those who doubted you. The kind that makes you fall to your knees in awe because you know no man could have orchestrated it. Do not fear the shaking. When the ground begins to move, it is not to destroy you, it is to release you. When the structures of the past begin to crumble, it is not because you are being abandoned, it is because you are being elevated. Beloved, lift your head high. Dry your tears. Strengthen your faith. You are standing at the edge of a divine shift that will confirm everything God has spoken over your life. And when it comes, it will not just be a blessing for you, it will be a testimony to all who see it. They will know that you are chosen, that you are favored, that you belong to a God who keeps His promises. Hold on. Stay expectant. Keep your spirit open. Because when this shift arrives, it will come suddenly, and it will change everything. Beloved, now that you've heard the promise of the sudden shift, it is time to understand why God allows such a turnaround to happen in this way. Because you may ask yourself, why does God wait until the last moment? Why does He let me walk through seasons of delay, only to move suddenly? The answer lies in His wisdom and His glory. When God moves suddenly, it ensures that no man can take credit for what He has done in your life. It silences the doubters and removes all possibility that the blessing came from human effort. It magnifies His hand so that everyone will know it was the Lord. Look again at the story of Lazarus. Jesus heard that his beloved friend was sick, yet He delayed his arrival. To Martha and Mary, the delay seemed cruel, even careless. Lazarus died, and they wept in grief. But when Jesus arrived, He declared, "This sickness is not unto death, but for the glory of God." And with a single command, "Lazarus, come forth," the impossible shifted into reality. Beloved, this is what happens in your life when the sudden shift arrives. What looked final will be reversed. What looked hopeless will be restored. What seemed dead will rise again. God allows the delay so that when the shift comes, it will confirm His promise over you in undeniable ways. This sudden shift is not just about blessing you, it's about transforming your faith. It is meant to teach you that your God is never late, even when He doesn't move on your schedule. It's meant to remind you that He is sovereign, that His ways are higher than your ways, and that His timing is always perfect. Beloved, I want you to reflect on your own life right now. Think of the moments where you thought it was over, where you felt there was no way forward. Yet here you are, still standing, still breathing, still chosen. That is proof enough that God has never abandoned you. And if He carried you through before, He will do it again, only this time, it will come with a suddenness that will take your breath away. Let us look at another example in Scripture. In Acts 12, Peter was thrown into prison, chained between two guards, and surrounded by soldiers. By all natural measures, escape was impossible. But while the church prayed, an angel of the Lord appeared suddenly in the night. The chains fell off Peter's hands, the iron gate opened on its own, and Peter walked out free. Beloved, that is what the sudden shift looks like. Chains that bound you for years will drop off without explanation. Gates that stood shut will open of their own accord. And you will walk out of the place of captivity into the wide space of freedom. Notice this, Peter did not have to fight the guards, break the chains, or push the gate. The shift was entirely supernatural. And so it will be with you. You will not need to strive or manipulate. You will not need to beg or force. When the shift comes, it will happen with such ease and grace that you will know it was the Lord's doing. Beloved, this is why you must prepare your spirit. Because when the shift comes, it will require faith to step into it. Peter had to follow the angel out of the prison. The Israelites had to walk through the parted Red Sea. The widow had to pour her last oil into vessels. Faith is the bridge between the promise and the manifestation. So right now, even before you see it, start aligning your heart with the expectation of a shift. Start declaring that the promise is alive. Start preparing room for what God is about to do. If you believe God is sending rain, build the ditches to hold the water. If you believe God is opening doors, get ready to walk through them. If you believe God is bringing restoration, prepare your heart to embrace it. Beloved, I sense strongly that the sudden shift will also expose the faithfulness of God in ways you have never known before. Some of you have been faithful in secret, praying when no one saw, sowing when it hurt, obeying when it cost you. The sudden shift will be God's way of saying, I saw it all, and now I am rewarding you openly. Do not despise the years of hidden faithfulness. Do not regret the sacrifices that seemed unnoticed. Nothing you have done for God has been wasted. Every tear, every prayer, every act of obedience has been stored up in heaven. And now, in this season, the heavens are about to release a sudden confirmation that you were never forgotten. Beloved, hear this, when the sudden shift comes, it will not only confirm the promise to you, but it will also testify to those around you. Your family will see it. Your friends will see it. Even your enemies will see it. and they will know that you serve a living God. This is why the enemy has fought you so hard in this season. He knows that once the shift happens, his lies will be exposed. He knows that the very areas he tried to destroy will become the evidence of God's glory. So he tries to wear you down, to convince you to give up before the promise arrives. But beloved, you will not give up, because the shift is closer than you think. Stay steadfast. Keep believing. Do not let go of the promise, no matter how silent it feels right now. For in just a moment, in the blink of an eye, God can turn the entire story of your life around. And when He does, the sudden shift will not just be a blessing, it will be the confirmation you've been waiting for. Beloved, let us go even deeper into the mystery of this sudden shift. One of the reasons it will be so undeniable is because it comes after a season of testing. You have been through fire, through storms, through valleys so deep that you wondered if you would ever emerge. Yet the very fact that you endured is a sign that the promise has been preserved for you. Understand this, the sudden shift does not come to those who quit halfway. It comes to those who cling to God even when everything else is shaking. It comes to those who choose faith when fear is loudest, and obedience when temptation is strongest. Let us look at the life of Joseph. He had a dream of greatness, but before he could step into it, he endured betrayal, slavery, false accusation, and imprisonment. For years, it looked like his dream was dead. But in a single day, suddenly, Pharaoh sent for him, and he went from the prison to the palace. Beloved, this is the pattern of God. Long seasons of hidden faithfulness, followed by sudden elevation. Joseph's story also reveals this truth. When the sudden shift comes, it will be bigger than just you. The dream God gave him was not only about his own success, but about saving nations during famine. Likewise, the sudden shift in your life is not only for your comfort, it is for the impact you will carry. God is positioning you so that others can be blessed through you. This is why you must see the shift as a divine assignment, not just a personal reward. You will be blessed, yes, but you will also become a blessing. You will be elevated, yes, but also entrusted with greater responsibility. This is what it means to be chosen. God marks you not just for favor, but for purpose. Beloved, prepare your heart for this. When the shift happens, it may come with opportunities that stretch you, platforms that surprise you, doors that intimidate you. But do not shrink back. Remember that the same God who shifts you is the God who equips you. He would not open the door if He had not already placed within you what is needed to walk through it. Now, let us speak about timing again. One of the greatest challenges of being chosen is waiting on God's appointed time. You may feel like others are advancing while you are left behind. You may see doors opening for others and wonder why yours remain shut. But beloved, your time is not their time. Your journey is not their journey. Habakkuk 2:3 says, "For the vision is yet for an appointed time. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry." The sudden shift always comes at the appointed time, not early, not late, but exactly when heaven decrees. And here's the beautiful truth, the delay does not diminish the promise. If anything, it makes the fulfillment sweeter. Imagine Joseph standing before Pharaoh, interpreting his dream, and receiving authority over Egypt. Every betrayal, every prison night, every false accusation faded into the background in that single moment. The sudden shift made it all worth it. Beloved, when your shift comes, the pain of your past will not compare to the glory of your future. The tears you cry will be wiped away by the joy of what God has prepared. The waiting will make the blessing more profound. Now, let us consider Elijah on Mount Carmel. The people were in drought, desperate for rain. Elijah prayed fervently, sending his servant to look toward the sea 7 times. Each time, the servant returned with nothing, until the 7th time, when he saw a cloud the size of a man's hand. Suddenly, the heavens broke open and rain poured down. Beloved, this is a picture of persistence. You may have prayed and seen nothing. You may have looked again and still felt disappointment. But I tell you now, keep looking. Because one day, suddenly, you will see the sign. It may look small at first, but it will be the beginning of a flood of blessings that cannot be stopped. The sudden shift often begins subtly, like a small cloud in the distance. Do not despise small beginnings. Do not overlook the early signs. They are the whisper of what is coming. And when it comes in fullness, it will be unstoppable. Beloved, let me also remind you, the sudden shift will silence the voices that mocked you. Those who said you would never make it, those who doubted your faith, those who dismissed your prayers, they will see with their own eyes what God has done. And you will not need to defend yourself, for the blessing will speak louder than any words. Psalm 23 says, "You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies." Notice, God doesn't remove the enemies, He blesses you in front of them. The sudden shift will not only confirm the promise to you but also demonstrate God's power to everyone around you. Beloved, hold fast to hope. Do not allow discouragement to rob you of your expectancy. The enemy thrives on delay because he knows it weakens faith. But let your faith remain strong. Keep praying, keep praising, keep standing. Because your midnight moment is approaching, and when it comes, everything will change in an instant. You are closer than you think. The sudden shift is already in motion. Trust that what God has promised will surely come to pass, and when it does, it will confirm in your heart that He has never failed you, and He never will. Beloved, as we move deeper into this message, let us reflect on why sudden shifts are often surprising. You see, God delights in showing His glory in ways that defy human understanding. If the shift could be explained by your effort alone, people would give the credit to you. If the shift could be traced back to connections, influence, or luck, others would explain it away. But when God moves suddenly, it is so undeniable, so beyond your own power, that only He can receive the glory. This is why sudden shifts come unexpectedly. They are not orchestrated by man, they are orchestrated by heaven. And when heaven decrees a thing, no earthly force can prevent it. Think of the children of Israel at the Red Sea. Behind them was Pharaoh's army, and before them was an impassable ocean. It seemed hopeless. But in one sudden moment, God parted the waters and made a way where there was no way. That shift was not gradual, it was immediate. One moment, death was certain, the next, deliverance was assured. Beloved, some of you are standing at your own Red Sea. You look ahead and see no path forward. You look behind and see threats gaining on you. But hear this, you are about to witness a sudden shift that will part the waters. The very thing that looks like your greatest obstacle will become the stage for your greatest testimony. The Red Sea miracle also reveals another truth. God uses sudden shifts to separate His people from their enemies. The same waters that opened for Israel closed upon Pharaoh's army. What blessed one group destroyed another. Beloved, your sudden shift will not only advance you but will also bring an end to the pursuit of those forces that have been against you. The cycle of oppression will break. The enemy's hold will shatter. What once chased you will chase you no longer. Now let us talk about perspective. Sometimes, the shift feels sudden to us, but in reality, God has been preparing it all along. Think of David. To the people of Israel, it seemed sudden when a shepherd boy defeated a giant and was elevated in the eyes of the nation. But to God, it was the fulfillment of years of hidden preparation, the lion, the bear, the secret worship in the fields. Beloved, your sudden shift is the fruit of hidden seasons. God has been preparing you when no one was watching. The prayers you prayed, the tears you shed, the obedience you gave when it cost you something, all of it was planting seeds for the harvest you are about to reap. The world may think it happened overnight, but heaven knows the foundation has been laid for years. This is why you must never despise the hidden seasons. They are not wasted time, they are preparation time. Every trial, every delay, every closed door has been shaping you, refining you, making you ready for the weight of what is about to be placed in your hands. Let us look also at Paul and Silas in prison. They were beaten, chained, and surrounded by darkness. Yet at midnight, they lifted their voices in prayer and praise. Suddenly, the foundations of the prison shook, doors flew open, and chains fell off. Beloved, notice this, their praise triggered a sudden shift. There is power in worship. There is power in declaring God's greatness even in your darkest hour. Praise is not just a song, it is a weapon. When you worship God in the midnight hour of your life, you invite Him to move suddenly on your behalf. So I ask you now, what is your posture while waiting for the shift? Are you anxious, fearful, and restless? Or are you praising, trusting, and expectant? Because your posture matters. Praise aligns your heart with heaven. Praise prepares the atmosphere for the sudden move of God. Beloved, let us also understand that sudden shifts often bring clarity. When God moves, He not only changes circumstances, but He also removes confusion. Suddenly, what once felt complicated becomes simple. What once felt clouded becomes clear. He is not the author of confusion, He is the God of light and order. For some of you, the sudden shift will be in your mind, clarity after years of uncertainty, peace after years of anxiety. For others, it will be in your relationships, toxic ties will break suddenly, and divine connections will appear. For others still, it will be in your provision, doors of lack will shut, and doors of abundance will open. No matter the area, the essence is the same, what once was stuck will suddenly flow. But beloved, let me remind you, the sudden shift is not an ending but a beginning. When Israel crossed the Red Sea, it was not the end of their journey but the beginning of their new season. When Paul and Silas were freed, it was not the end of their mission but the expansion of it. When Joseph entered Pharaoh's palace, it was not the conclusion of his dream but the unfolding of it. So do not think of your sudden shift as the finish line. Think of it as the doorway into a greater chapter. It will confirm the promise, but it will also launch you into new responsibilities, new territories, new callings. And God has already equipped you for what is ahead. Finally, let us meditate on this truth. Sudden shifts remind us of God's sovereignty. He is not bound by time, by systems, or by human limitations. He can turn things around in a day, in an hour, in a moment. And when He does, it is so complete, so undeniable, that you will look back and wonder how it happened so fast. Beloved, prepare yourself. The same God who moved suddenly for Israel, for Joseph, for Paul and Silas, is about to move suddenly for you. And when it happens, you will know without a shadow of a doubt, this is the Lord's doing, and it is marvelous in your eyes. Beloved, let us turn our hearts to one of the most powerful truths about sudden shifts. They are not just about changing your circumstances, they are about revealing God's covenant faithfulness. When the shift comes, it will not be random or disconnected, it will tie directly to the promises He whispered to you in prayer, to the visions He gave you in secret, and to the word He planted in your heart long ago. Many of you have carried prophecies for years. You have replayed them in your mind, clung to them in prayer, and wondered when they would manifest. At times, the waiting has tested you to the core. Yet, beloved, hear this, no word from God falls to the ground. Isaiah 55:11 declares, "So shall my word be that goes forth out of my mouth, it shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereto I sent it." This is why the sudden shift is not a coincidence, it is prophecy fulfilled. It is God proving that what He said will surely come to pass, no matter how long it seemed delayed. Think of Sarah. She waited decades for the child God promised. Her body grew old, and hope grew dim. Yet, at the appointed time, the promise came to pass. Isaac was born, and her laughter returned. Beloved, your Isaac moment is coming. The sudden shift will bring joy so deep that it will erase the sting of waiting. Consider also Daniel. He prayed for understanding, and for 21 days it seemed as though heaven was silent. But then, suddenly, an angel appeared and said, "From the first day you set your heart to understand and to humble yourself before your God, your words were heard." The shift came not because God was slow, but because spiritual warfare was taking place in the unseen realm. Beloved, do not confuse silence with absence. God has heard every prayer, seen every tear, recorded every sacrifice. And though opposition may have tried to delay, heaven has already released your answer. The sudden shift is proof that God has been fighting for you all along. Now, let us meditate on how sudden shifts also align with God's timing of seasons. Ecclesiastes 3:1 reminds us, "To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under the heaven." Beloved, you have been in one season, a season of pressing, pruning, and waiting. But the sudden shift marks the turning of a page. A new season is dawning. This shift will feel like the first rays of sunlight after a long night. You will look around and realize the atmosphere has changed. Opportunities that were once closed will open. Strength you thought was gone will return. What once felt barren will bloom again. Think of Ruth. She entered Bethlehem with Naomi as a widow, poor and without direction. Yet, in one sudden divine appointment, she met Boaz in the field. That encounter set in motion a chain of events that not only redeemed her story but also connected her to the lineage of Christ. Beloved, one divine encounter can shift everything. One connection, one introduction, one open door, and suddenly, what seemed impossible becomes your new reality. This is why you must stay faithful in the small things. Ruth was simply gleaning in the fields, doing her daily task, when destiny found her. Likewise, your obedience in the everyday will position you for the extraordinary. Let us also consider how sudden shifts often bring restoration. Joel 2:25 says, "And I will restore to you the years that the locust hath eaten." Beloved, some of you feel as though years have been wasted, years of struggle, years of pain, years of doors shut in your face. But the sudden shift will bring restoration so full that you will recover lost time. Joseph spent over a decade in prison and slavery, yet when the shift came, he stepped into authority that not only restored him but elevated him beyond what he ever imagined. God compressed years of loss into one season of favor. Beloved, expect acceleration. The shift is not only about change, it is about speed. What should have taken years will happen in months. What seemed impossible will come together effortlessly. God is redeeming time. He is collapsing delays. He is proving that He can do in a moment what man could not accomplish in a lifetime. This acceleration is not by your might or power but by His Spirit. It is a supernatural grace that carries you beyond natural limitations. When others ask how it happened so quickly, you will testify, "It was the hand of the Lord." Beloved, sudden shifts also refine priorities. When God moves, you will notice a change in what matters most to you. The things you used to chase will no longer hold the same weight. The distractions that once consumed you will fall away. Instead, your eyes will be fixed on what truly matters, His presence, His purpose, His kingdom. The shift is not just external, it is internal. It will change your heart as much as your circumstances. You will find yourself hungering for prayer, yearning for the Word, longing for intimacy with Him in a way you never have before. Because the blessing without His presence is empty, but the blessing with His presence is fullness of joy. Beloved, prepare your spirit. The sudden shift will test your readiness. Blessings require maturity. Elevation requires humility. Responsibility requires character. This is why God has taken time to prepare you. Do not despise the preparation, it has been the making of you. You are about to step into answered prayers, open doors, divine connections, accelerated breakthroughs, and restored years. But above all, you are about to step into a deeper revelation of God's faithfulness. And when you look back, you will declare with tears of joy, "It was worth the wait." God has been faithful to His word. Beloved, as we arrive at this final part of the message, let us bring together all that God has been speaking. The sudden shift you are about to witness is not an isolated event. It is the culmination of His faithfulness, the unveiling of His promise, and the demonstration of His power in your life. When God shifts things suddenly, He not only changes your external situation but also confirms your identity as His chosen one. This is important. The shift is not only about what you receive, but about who you are becoming. God is shaping you into a vessel of honor, prepared to carry His glory, to influence lives, and to testify of His goodness to generations. Let us revisit a principle that runs throughout Scripture. God delights in divine reversals. He takes what the enemy meant for evil and turns it for good. He lifts the humble, exalts the lowly, and brings beauty out of ashes. And often, these reversals happen in a moment. Consider Esther. She was a Jewish orphan, hidden in obscurity, yet suddenly she was elevated to queen. And not only that, she became the instrument God used to deliver her people from destruction. What was meant to annihilate them turned into a story of triumph. Beloved, this is the essence of your sudden shift. It is bigger than you, because through your testimony, others will be saved, encouraged, and delivered. Let us also remember Job. He lost everything: wealth, children, health, and his friends mocked him, thinking God had abandoned him. But suddenly, God restored him, giving him twice as much as he had before. Beloved, the sudden shift is not only about restoration but about multiplication. Expect double for your trouble. Expect God to make up for every loss with overflow. Now, hear this: sudden shifts are not random acts of mercy. They are strategic moves of God to realign your destiny with heaven's design. Some of you thought you were forgotten. Some of you thought you missed your chance. Some of you thought the mistakes of your past had disqualified you. But beloved, the shift proves otherwise. God has not forgotten you. His hand has been guiding you even in the wilderness. And what He has ordained cannot be cancelled by man, by circumstance, or by time. This is why you must hold your peace in seasons of silence. Even when you cannot see Him, God is working behind the scenes. Your life is like a tapestry. From the back, it looks like tangled threads and chaos. But when you flip it over, it reveals a beautiful pattern. The sudden shift is the moment God turns the tapestry around, showing you the beauty He was weaving all along. Beloved, let me speak directly to your heart. You will not end in shame. You will not end in failure. The sudden shift is God's declaration that your story is not over. In fact, it is only beginning. The best chapters of your life have not yet been written, and God Himself is holding the pen. The shift will also redefine your testimony. Up until now, you may have been known by your struggles, your delays, your losses. But after this shift, you will be known by your victory, your favor, and your divine acceleration. People who once pitied you will marvel at you. Those who once doubted you will testify, "Surely, the Lord has done this." Let us pause here and remember that your shift is also meant to draw you closer to God. Do not allow the blessing to distract you from the one who blesses. Let every breakthrough become a reason for deeper worship. Let every open door become an altar of thanksgiving. Let every answered prayer remind you that His presence is the greatest gift of all. Psalm 126 paints the perfect picture. When the Lord turned again the captivity of Zion, we were like them that dream. Then was our mouth filled with laughter, and our tongue with singing. Then said they among the heathen, The Lord hath done great things for them. The Lord hath done great things for us, whereof we are glad. Beloved, that is what your sudden shift will feel like a dream too good to be true, except it is reality, because it is the hand of the Lord. And now, I speak prophetically, expect sudden joy. Expect sudden favor. Expect sudden healing. Expect sudden doors. Expect sudden restoration. Expect sudden peace. Expect sudden clarity. Expect sudden alignment. For God is not slow concerning His promises. He is faithful, and He is moving now. Beloved, prepare your heart, your spirit, and your mind. Lift your expectancy higher. Position yourself with worship and prayer. Keep your hands clean and your motives pure. Because what is coming is holy. The sudden shift is not just a reward, it is a calling into deeper partnership with God. And when it happens, remember to testify. Share the goodness of God with others, so that they too may believe. Your testimony will be a seed of faith for someone else's miracle. The shift is not just for you, it is for generations to come. So I leave you with this charge: do not grow weary. Do not let go. Stand firm, for your moment of suddenly is near. You are chosen. You are marked. You are covered. And the same God who parted the sea, who raised the dead, who opened prison doors, is about to move suddenly in your life. And when He does, beloved, you will know beyond all doubt, the promise was true, the delay was only preparation, and the shift is here to stay. Lift your eyes, open your heart, and prepare for the suddenly of God.